So when it comes to you pay quite a lot in taxes. And I know that that's something that you hear quite often. But when you see these statistics on screen, I gotta tell you, I think the government is absolutely taking the mick with this one. Because as you can see up there, we got the weekly road fuel prices. And it's 132p for unleaded petrol and 139 pence for diesel. Now that's just where it stands at the moment, but these taxes are always going to be relevant. So if you have a look here, right, we've got ULSP, that's petrol, and then the D is diesel. In fact, let me make that one green. I can't really make that one black, but you know what I mean. There we go, perfect. And we'll focus on petrol for now, but we got the duty rate of almost 53 pence. That means just like straight out the gate. They're already taking, we'll call that a 53p. They're taking 53p of each litre. Bear in mind, 132p. £1.32. Then we got VAT on top of that as well, which at those prices works out to 22p. So all in, right, on 132 pence of fuel for 1 litre, and it doesn't matter whether you get 5 or 10, you still pay the same percentages. But that means that for every single litre of fuel that you buy, we're paying 75 pence in tax. Like, you imagine that. 132p, and they're taking 75p out of that for tax. And I know they got to earn their money, right? I know that, not through this way. This is not how I'd say to do it. This is just taking the mick. But what I don't understand, right, is I did the maths. Right? I figured it out before I started recording. If we take that 75 pence of duty and VAT, and if we compare that against the price, which like I said is 132p, that means that you are paying 56% in tax. Like, honestly, let that sink in. 56% in tax. That's how much we pay on fuel. Honestly, it's insanity, isn't it? Because what you'll find, right, and it's done me for years, this one, specifically with this tax, is you'll get the government talk about the greedy oil companies. I'm not sticking up for them here. But you'll have the government. They'll talk about those oil companies. And they'll say, oh, they make too much money. The government's making 56% out of the transaction. They're the ones profiting. And they're like, oh, we need to do something about these oil companies. They're making too much profit here. We need to regulate them. But like I said, 56%. It's over half. Half the transaction goes towards the government. And the government's not sat there doing the drilling. They're not sat there doing the refining. And they're definitely not helping you fill up the car. They're like an absent party. Just an invisible person on the transaction. I hate it. I really do. I know they got to earn their money. And if this is information which you weren't aware of, if you didn't know that we were paying 56% in fuel tax, if that's something that you didn't know, then I would highly recommend to subscribe to the channel. Because every single day I'm here with information that you need to know.
This country has gone crazy.